guys, and welcome to the channel. Vaughn George here. It's good to be back. I've been on holiday, and I thought today we would do something a little bit different. There's no subject to this video, so this is going to kind of be like a blog video. And I know that a lot of you have asked me to do like a blog video and behind the scenes and that kind of thing. Obviously, when you come back from holiday, you know, you've got a lot to do, and you know, I've just come straight back into the furnace. And with a video due today, as you know, I release a video every Wednesday and Sunday. And I thought, well, let me use this opportunity to do a blog video so I can tell you what I've been up to. I want to do a few shout outs and a few thank yous to people on the channel and the group. I also want to let you guys know what's coming next on the channel. And right at the end, I want to ask you guys a few questions about the channel moving forward. So let's jump right in. So guys, I've just returned from a 2-week holiday in Estonia. If you've never been to Estonia before, I can highly recommend it. I've been about 7 or 8 times. It's like my second home. I really love it. If you've never been to Estonia, as I say, definitely check it out. Tallinn is an awesome city. Estonia really reminds me of Holland in a way. It's kind of got that kind of Dutch vibe, you know, that real sort of laid back, almost like a Scandinavian country. And it's very different to London, and I love London. I've lived here for 20 years. But as much as I love London, it's an intense, and it can be a really hard and aggressive city. So to get away to something as laid back and easy as Estonia was really a treat for me. And I make a point to go there every year. And of course, guys, if you're ever in Tallinn, which is the capital of Estonia, you've got to check out the Depeche Mode bar. This is the 3rd time I went to the Depeche Mode bar. I dragged Kairit, my fiancée, along, and bless her, she's not a Depeche Mode fan, but she had to sit there with me for 3 hours as I indulged in a bit of Depeche Mode music in the Depeche Mode bar. And of course, being in a Depeche Mode bar, it's a little bit like being in Disneyland, you know, it's like, wow, you just sit there and it's all Depeche Mode. Definitely check it out, guys. It's really, Tallinn's a great city, and do check out the Depeche Mode bar if you're there. I want to give a few shout outs, guys, and a few thank yous. If you're new to this channel, you probably don't know that we also have a Facebook group, a Vaughn George Facebook group. And although we've grown that to a nice, I think we've got about 350 members at the moment. It's a really good community. The Vaughn George Facebook group is made up of fans, producers, and like-minded people, really. And I'm really enjoying that group and interacting with people, such wonderful people with such like-minded tastes, ideas in life. And right, guys, so if you like this YouTube channel, you will definitely love the Facebook page. I will leave a link to the description below where you can click and go and join, and come and join us and join in the fun. A few shout outs. I'd like to thank Ash Neuro, who I've made an admin of my Vaughn George Facebook group page. Ash, thank you very much for the work you're doing. Ash has done great work on sort of maintaining the page for me when I'm not around. And he's also been running a remix campaign at the moment, which he has set up and collaborated with other members of the group, which I will discuss in another video. So well done, Ash, and thank you for your help. I also want to thank Kimberly, who we know as the Octopus Girl, who sent me this awesome picture for my birthday. Kimberly drew this for me for my birthday. Thank you very much. And to all of those of you who wished me happy birthday, thank you so much. I feel really blessed, and I had a blast. A special shout out and a thank you to Sean Kennedy on the Facebook group page, who's been doing great work on there, running a few polls. Sean will put up a poll, for instance, saying, what is your favorite Depeche Mode song, or what is your favorite Depeche Mode album? And he tallies up all the results of the polls and gives a result. So Sean, thank you very much for the work you're doing there. I'm really grateful, and you're really helping make the group awesome. Simon Forsyth, a special shout out to you. Simon reached out to me through the channel and through the Facebook page a few months ago, and we got talking, and long story short, Simon is in a stage of his life now where he's sold a lot of his gear, and he's doing a lot of mobile work. And because he was selling all his gear, he didn't want to sell everything. There were certain pieces of gear he wanted to hang on to. So what he decided to do was, because he's on the road a lot of the time and he's not actually living in a permanent location, instead of selling all his gear, he wanted to give some of his pieces of gear to people he trusted. And so that is why I have this very beautiful Analog Solutions Telemark synthesizer here. I'm going to get into a bit more detail about that shortly. So Simon, thank you very much for, as I say, I met Simon through the channel. We got talking and we got on like a house on fire. He met me a few weeks ago and we had a few beers. He dropped this off with me, and I've really listened to, I've turned it on and probably sat with it for about a half an hour. I haven't had much time, and I've given it a nice wipe down for you, Simon. It's nice and clean, as you can see. And Simon, just one thing, you're never going to get this back, mate. It's mine. Anyway, what's beautiful about this thing is, guys, this is a limited edition telemark. And what's so special about this is, as you can see, it is actually dedicated to the Violator, really. As you can see, it's got the Violator rose here, and all the knobs here. If you can look at the, if you can see the writing, I'll just quickly zoom in. If you can see that, notice how all the font and all the writing style is it's written in the font, you know, like you know, Depeche Mode Violator, you know, the way Violator is written. He's used, well, all the font is written in that way. Now this synthesizer, by the way, this is a analog synthesizer, a pure analog synthesizer, and it's built by a company called Analog Solutions, and the man who owns this company designs these machines from the ground up, writes the manuals and everything. The brains behind this is Mr. Tom J Carpenter. Now Tom is a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and he's also a member of the Vaughn George Facebook group, so I'm very honored and flattered to have him within the group. Really nice guy. He reached out to me the other day and he's really down to earth. I've been talking to Tom and happy to say that we're looking at having an interview with Tom. And Tom is just the kind of guy we'd want on this channel. I mean, a Depeche Mode fan, builds synthesizers. I mean, how many people do we know that builds synthesizers? And what's beautiful about this particular machine is this is a limited edition, and I believe that, and Tom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there were only 10 of these were ever built, and Simon is very lucky to be in possession of one of these. As I say, Simon, you're never going to get this back. She's quite happy with me here. But I would love to do an interview with Simon Forsyth, the owner of this synthesizer, and with Tom J Carpenter, the owner of Analog Solutions and the designer of the synthesizer. I'd love to do an interview with them one day where we can sit and talk geek and, you know, just freak out and geek out about, you know, geeky stuff as we do on this channel. And what I love about this, Tom, is, if I can zoom in here, we've got this, this is a bit of an in-joke with us at the moment. It's called the Dangerous Knob. You remember the song, Dangerous, the way you leave me wanting more? And he's got the Dangerous Knob. So, I don't want to be misleading, but we're going to have an interview with Tom J Carpenter, where he reveals his Dangerous Knob. Dangerous. So Simon, thank you very much for dropping off this beautiful piece of kit with me and allowing me to be a foster parent. And Tom, thank you for reaching out to me on the channel, and we look forward to interviewing you soon. It's also worth mentioning that, and Tom's got so many stories he can tell, because I believe that Martin Gore buys pretty much everything that comes out from the Analog Solutions company. And yeah, Tom can tell a lot of stories. So we really look forward to having you as a guest on the channel soon, Tom. Thank you. Guys, and coming up next on the channel, I know we've been talking about the Depeche Mode album reviews, and about 3 weeks ago I did a interview with Brian Griffin where we talked about the artwork of the Speak and Spell album. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to place a link to the description below and you can watch that. I'm going to get Brian Griffin in next week and we're going to talk about the artwork behind A Broken Frame. As I said, I'm going to be doing the interview with Brian Griffin, which is going to run alongside my review of all the Depeche Mode albums. And guys, the first episode of the Depeche Mode album review will come out this Sunday, Sunday the 4th of August, where I'm going to finally do the first episode, which is the Speak and Spell album review, so make sure to see that. Right guys, so as you know, the Vaughn George channel, we have the Piano and Keyboard Artists series. We also have the Geek Talk series, but I'm going to bring out another series as well, which I'm calling Rising Stars. And what Rising Stars is really, it's almost like a miscellaneous section to the channel where I can discuss things which I cannot discuss in Geek Talk and I cannot discuss in Piano Keyboard Artist. And what I mean by that is I've been around for a while, and I've gained a lot of knowledge in the industry. Most of the knowledge I've gained is through the dreadful mistakes I've made. Money I've spent, bad deals I've signed. I can tell you some real stories. And within the Rising Star series, under that series, I want to give advice to people who want to get into the industry. I don't have all the answers, but it is just, if I can stop you from making the mistakes I made, and if I can help you fast track certain aspects of your career by you not making the mistakes I made, I would be happy to pass that advice on to you. And that is what the Rising Stars series is all about. I will also cover some music theory, sort of like piano tricks on the piano, things that will help you as a performing pianist, singer. A lot will go into that section. So we've got the Piano Keyboard Artist series, where we talk about pianos, keyboards and synthesizers and the artists we love, and album reviews and all that kind of thing. Geek Talk series is where we talk more about music production, and then in the Rising Star series we will talk more about the miscellaneous and the other nuggets of wisdom that I can give you, which I cannot cover in the other two series. So I feel that adding that third segment to the channel will just help me discuss aspects that I cannot discuss under Geek Talk or Piano and Keyboard Artist, but I feel that I can give you tremendous value. And that brings me quite naturally onto the next question, which a lot of you have asked me, and that is, Vaughn, it's more of a suggestion from a lot of you and guys, I've got such great support from you, such awesome people. And some of the best, I really feel that some of the people I've met through this channel it's like, where have you been all my life? And that's the great thing about the internet, how you can just target people and just meet people who are on the same wavelength as you. Anyway, what a lot of you have suggested is that I start some form of subscription or Patron campaign. And guys, I was always kind of dubious about the whole Patron thing in the beginning, because to me it felt like asking for money and I didn't feel comfortable. However, I feel now that I've been doing the channel for several months now and it has grown really quickly, I do feel that based on the feedback that you guys give me, that I feel I'm giving you good value based on your feedback. I feel that the channel is entertaining. It's by no means flawless, but I mean, I think that's what you guys like. It's really real, and I feel that I've become a friend to a lot of you, and a lot of you have become a friend to me. So thank you to those of you who have suggested the Patron campaign or some kind of subscription thing, and I am looking into that at the moment. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I am looking into starting a Patron campaign with different levels and different tiers, with the most basic subscription being as little as the price of a cup of coffee, where you can support me in this channel and what we're doing. And at the end of the day, guys, as I keep saying, I do this channel for you, and I know that might sound really noble. At the end of the day is, if I don't have you, I'm just doing it for no one. This is why every time I make a move on this channel, before I roll something out, as I did with the Geek Talk, I always ask you guys first, what do you want to see? Because I'm conscious of the fact that without your participation and without you guys, I don't exist. So understand that is my way of just saying I'm really grateful to you. So with the Patreon campaign, I am looking into it, but I would really appreciate your suggestions as to what you would like to see. Just make a few suggestions and be as outrageous as you want. Just say, Vaughn, we'd like to see this, we'd like to see this, we wouldn't want to see this. Just let me know, because I tailor my content on what you guys want, and I enjoy talking about it. So please help me with that. Let me know what you would like me to elaborate on and what you would like to see within a Patreon campaign. And then finally, guys, if you remember on the video I did with Brian Griffin 3 weeks ago, we talked about how Brian is going to be back at the MMX Gallery on Saturday the 3rd of August between 2 and 6 p.m. and that's here in London in New Cross. I'm going to be there as well, so if you would like to come and meet Brian and I would love to shake hands and meet you. Also bear in mind, this is the last day of his exhibition at the MMX Gallery, and he will have on display the original print of A Broken Frame. As I say, this is the original print of A Broken Frame on display at the MMX Gallery here in London, New Cross, on the 3rd of August between 2 and 6 p.m. on Saturday. If you want to come down to this, guys, could you please just let me know in the description below. let me know that you're coming, and just so I can get you onto the list. We would love, I would really love to meet some of you there. I remember last time when we did it, it was so much fun to put faces to the names. It was awesome. Right guys, so I've really tried to keep that as to the point as I can, bearing in mind I've still got my holiday head on. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. Check out the Facebook group. I'm going to put a link below to that and you can check it out. And if you like, just request to join, and I would love to welcome you in the group. It's a really, really good group. Please leave your comments below. Click up if you like this video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, where we do the first episode of the Depeche Mode album reviews, starting with Speak and Spell. Lots of love to you all, as always, guys, and I will see you on Sunday, and hopefully at the MMX Gallery on Saturday before. Catch you later.